yeah, eventually and the story of starting a law firm was just a text with Braden Turner, my law firm partner. I just sent him a text, hey, do you want to start a law firm? He's okay, sure. So that's could be pretty much how we started.
This is Unlawful.
So like that environment, I would like to think I'm a kind person. I like to be amicable with people. I like to be friendly, and I'm also, I guess some part of it is a bit more passive aggressive. Like I'm ambitious, I'm aggressive, but I tend to want to get along with everyone.
Right.
The law school environment, everyone was like trying to go for the A, and it just felt like super competitive environment where I was actually the guy in law school saying, hey, you want to share outlines? And then here's my outline, you want to share yours? And I was the guy like passing everyone like, the different outlines I'm getting, making friends that way. But there are some people, they're like it was just really hard to approach. So I ended up finishing law school with maybe only a handful of friends, like
Sure.
and then one friend became now my firm partner, Brandon Turner. We were in the same section.
It's so funny that you say that, because I think about my law school experience. And in retrospect, I was in law school with a number of really fantastic people, but I think I only had 3 friends in law school. And it's exactly your experience, right? I wasn't really there to be competitive. I wasn't really there to be confrontational or to prove to anybody that I was smart or wasn't smart or that I could get the best grades. I was just there to get through it. It was difficult for me, for sure, to make connections with people in that environment.
Yeah, I definitely resonate with that. Like, I see everyone trying to go for the law review and try to get into the competition teams. And I'm just trying to get through it. Just try to get good grades and then survive 3 years and hopefully find a job that would sponsor me. So that was just my mentality. Is like, I don't need to be super competitive, and which in hindsight might be a mistake, because I guess I should have forced myself to try to get the good grades. Because when I went to the job market, being kind of middle to bottom of the pack in ranking, that really significantly hurt myself, like on top of being international. So like those two factors.
But I think there are ways to do both. That's part of the reason why I think I started this project, and I started talking to people about the things that make them tick, because I think it's important that as we become lawyers, or as we become clients, as we become judges, whatever, parents, whatever we become, I think it becomes increasingly important that we're capable establishing a why, right? Like, I think it was Nietzsche who said, if you give me a why, I can make almost any how bearable. And I'm sure there are a million of philosophy students and teachers and my brother saying I got that entirely wrong, but it's something like that. And what's interesting for you is that at least one of the whys was really clear, to staying in the United States. Right?
Yeah.
So what happened?
Yeah. So I was supposed to graduate in 2020. Then global event happened, which made me question like whether I should graduate then.
Sure.
And I was already struggling getting interviews. Every time I answer the question, will you now or in the future require a work visa, it was pretty much an automatic disqualification. Even at the university I was at, not at the law school specifically, but in one of the university departments, I looked at all the qualifications and I clearly am overqualified for it. But then 5 minutes later, they send me an email saying, sorry, you're not qualified. So it's definitely that question really, when I answer it honestly, I don't immediately need one, but in the future, I might need one. That was the question that couldn't get me across the door to the interview. I thought, okay, if I'm having trouble, maybe I should pick up another dual degree and see if the market conditions gets any better. So I picked up an MBA degree. And while I was doing that, I took the bar in Arkansas only because they had UBE. In 2020, Oklahoma didn't have UBE. So I did in Arkansas. And I write about my bar failures. And so I actually failed the bar 3 times. But the first time, actually, with the UBE, I failed but passed. So I scored a 268. So it would have been good for New York, or Oklahoma. Eventually, it was like 264. So I failed the Arkansas bar. If I would have transferred the score, I would have become an attorney anyways. But yeah, so took the bar 3 times during my MBA. So the summer preparing for the MBA, and then took that, failed, and then didn't graduate with the dual degree until December of 2021.
Gotcha.
And then it was over. The same thing again, trying to apply for jobs, couldn't get interviews, no opportunities. And as an international, we were allowed the 1 year of OPT to do either unpaid work or internships to maintain your status,
Sure.
to gain some experience. So I was fortunate enough to find 2 organizations that allow me to do remote internships to maintain my status while I was thinking about maybe I need to start my own law firm. If there's no opportunity for me, maybe I need to build my own door and build my own house.
And is that what you did?
Yeah, eventually and the story of starting a law firm was just a text with Braden Turner, my law firm partner. I just sent him a text, hey, do you want to start a law firm? He's okay, sure. So that's pretty much how we started. But before that, I was looking at ways what I could do with my law degree, any ways I could stay in the US to continue expand my career. And I came across the visa, which is the E2 visa, which is the visa that I'm on currently. And the E2 visa is a non-immigrant visa. We'll talk about the irony later of my situation, but pretty much found out about being able to start my own law firm with a substantial amount of investment, and they leave it vague for substantial amount. But typically, we advise clients that it's about $100,000 to start a business to be able to stay in the U.S. So that's roughly the amount that I had to bring to the table to start my own law firm. And fortunately, with parents' help, that they gifted me the money to be able to start my own law firm.
Tell me about your law firm and tell me about what y'all do.
Yeah, being in my position, naturally, immigration law was what interested me to try to learn more about immigration law and helping others in a similar situation as myself, or having gone through this journey. I thought immigration law would be something that we'll be good at. But as any business, starting your own law firm, we were told quite often to niche down. And I still struggle with this aspect. I'm afraid of putting all eggs in one basket. I don't want to just focus on one thing. What if market conditions change out of my control and I can't control like how the market does? So I'd rather have more separate practice areas. So in the beginning, we were practicing door law. As long as we were competent, we took the case. If not, we made sure we had mentors or co-counsels to work the case together. So we did various cases like employment, some family, some criminal defense. So we were all over the place. Now, though, we've transitioned into where I primarily only practice immigration. And actually, even despite immigration, I only spend 20% of my time practicing law. 80% of my time is in the business of law.
Wow.
And we have other attorneys now where we've grown to 7 attorneys, including myself, from 3 years ago. And we're coming up to our 3-year anniversary next week, actually. October 6, 2022 was when we started the law firm. And 3 years later, we've grown to 7 attorneys and a total of about 22 staff members, full-time, part-time, and some remote.
First, congratulations. Obviously, it's a huge accomplishment starting a business, and especially starting a business that you're growing and developing, and now you're employing other people. What's your unlawful moment?
So I would say my unlawful moment would be picture the scenery, attending a immigration interview with a client, and they're going through their process. And I'm attending the interview with them and watching them answer all the questions. And at the end, the USCIS officer says, okay, no problem. Now your green card is approved. So that's the scenery that really gets me for the unlawful moment. And then also fast forward to when the green card finally arrives, it gets sent to our office. And then we inform the client, hey, your green card is here. And then we'll take a picture with the green card and with the client. And I guess that would be my unlawful moment, is that the irony of my situation right now. As a E2 visa holder, I'm supposed to be a non-immigrant intent person. So I'm not supposed to have any immigration intent. Sure, it will be nice someday, but for now, officially no immigrant intent. So as a non-immigrant visa holder living in the US, working in the US, I'm able to help my clients get their green card or help them with their citizenship. But I don't have one yet. So that's, I guess it's like unlawful. Like, how can this happen? Like this Taiwanese guy helping other people become permanent residents and helping other people become citizens of the United States, but I don't have one. So I think that's like a little bit of the unlawful moment for me.
It's like you said, the irony of it all is not lost on anyone, I don't think. But the beauty of the moments that you've described, I'm a litigator. When I lose cases, everybody hates me. When I win cases, everybody hates paying the bill, right? Transactional lawyers get to have closing dinners where everybody celebrates. They've gotten this deal done and everybody's produced something. Litigators sometimes have a harder time celebrating the wins, but it seems like when something as concrete as getting citizenship, getting a green card, when that happens, like you can't help but have that moment. But look, I really appreciate your time. It's been an absolute pleasure meeting you. And I hope that I can continue hearing and following your story on LinkedIn. And that's Unlawful.
Thanks.